Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System 22 and webdesignertechtips.com. We got a great fun one for you today. We've got a little hero section we built yesterday here. On the left hand side we've got a bouncing button. If I hover my mouse over that button, it's going to light up. If I roll down the page, it's going to stay where it is. If I click on it, I've got mine connected to a little contact form down below. But you can connect it to anything you want. Really easy to do, and that's a nice little eye-catching feature to have on your site. Of course, it'll work just as well on tablet and mobile. If I hit my F12 key, I'm working with Google Chrome here. There's our little bouncing button there. If I click on it, it takes us straight down to our little contact form there. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. And let's just undo everything, and I'll get rid of this button here. Great. Well, let's go down to where we want to work. I'm going to throw this pretty much on the bottom, just under these little blurb modules here. I'm going to click on the row here. I'm going to hit the little green button to add a new row. I'm going to add a new row. I'm going to put a single column in it. It doesn't matter too much where you put this because we're going to use fixed positioning, so it's not going to end up here anyway. You can use what you want, but for mine today, I'm going to use an icon. If we roll down, there's an icon module. Choose your appropriate icon for whatever it is. I'm going to a contact form, so let's just put a question mark. And that one will do nicely. Okay, let's go and make it the color and the size that we want it. I'm going to go over to design, icon. I'm going to make mine the generic blue color. I'm going to take it down in size to perhaps 40 pixels. Obviously, adjust yours to taste. This is where we can link our little button to anything we want. Like I say, I'm going to link to this contact form section just down below, but you can take them to any page or anywhere on the web you want. By going back to content, we're in the icon settings here, link. I think I gave this a CSS ID of QS for questions. So I'm going to put hashtag QS. That way, when I click on this, it'll take us down to this section here. Let's just make sure that CSS ID is correct, because if it's not, this will not work. Go into here. I gave this particular section, the blue tabs, a section, a CSS ID of QS, I think. And you'll find CSS IDs and classes over in the advanced tab. Yeah, there it is. Just wanted to make sure it was correct, or else that's not going to go to this when we click on it. Okay, now I'm going to go into the row that it's sitting in, the green tab here. If I click anywhere on it, we can go into the green tab. Just so you can see what's going on, I'm going to give this row a background color. Let's perhaps throw in a red, nice and bright there. And I really don't want this to be this big because I want it to sit up here somewhere. I don't want it to take up any more real estate than we've got going on here. So I'm going to go into the design and sizing. And width-wise, let's make it 50 pixels wide. I just put in 50 there, it put in the percent sign. So just select the percent sign and put in PX for pixels. Perfect. Made it the size that I wanted. Now we can make it height 50 pixels also, but I don't think you'll find that that icon's centered. Let's just try that. If we go down to height down here, again, put in 50. It's put in the pix this time. It's not centered it, and the reason is we've got padding on this row here. So if we go back out and we'll close down our sizing, just below we've got spacing. Let's put a 0 in the top. That's a little bit too high. We'll hit the chain, and it'll do both sides at once. We can increment up till it's wherever it is you want it on yours, perhaps something like that. Now we could just take that background away and we'd have that blue circle right over there with a question mark in it, which would be fine. But I'd rather have a background on it for when it goes over something that's blue, if we've been using anything else that color. So I'll do that in a moment because I think I'll use a white background. If I do it now, it's going to disappear into the white background that we've got going on there. But I want that to be rounded so it's more like a big border rather than a square on the outside. Still in our design settings here, we can go down to border below. Make sure it's checked, it will be by default. And let's perhaps put 50 pixels in there. That'll make it a nice round border. Now you notice if I go back to content now and change the color in the background here from red to, like I say, a white, it's going to disappear just so we can see it, and it makes it kind of a little bit more interesting as well. Let's give it a bit of box shadow. Back in design, box shadow. We'll just use that one there. You should get the outline of it nicely there. Now with mine, I really don't want to see it fully opaque, in full color, if you will, initially. I only want it to do that when they hover over it. So still in the design, let's close out the box shadow. We're going to go down to filters just below. We roll down, we'll find one called opacity. The more you slide it to the left, the more it's going to disappear into the background. I want mine to be visible, but not just fully visible, something like that. But when they hover over it, I want it to become fully visible. So I'm going to hover over the dark writing where it says opacity there. And this is common to all Divi modules. If you hover over the dark writing, some little icons will appear. We've got an arrow there. We can create a desktop state when the mouse is not on it, just like I want it there. When they put their mouse on it, the hover state, click on the hover tab, take it up to 100%. That's entirely up to you. You can do it whichever way around you like, but it's a great little option to have. Great. Let's flip it back to desktop. Slightly opaque there. Now let's put the position of it where we want it. I want mine to be, well, I had mine before middle left. Let's put it perhaps top left this time. To do that, if we move over to our advanced tab here again, go down to position. Remember, we're in the row. I'm going to change it from relative to fixed. Now, if we go down now, you may think it's disappeared, but it's not. It's actually up under our header right here. If I was to put it in the middle left, you'd see it. There it is right there, bottom. And you can put it pretty much any way you want. Like I say, I want mine just under the header. So I'm going to put it up there. Like I say, it's under the header at the moment. I want to use a little vertical offset to bring it down. There we go. Something like that. I'm going to bring it out from the side just a little bit with a horizontal offset. 5 pixels will do. Now Z index down below. If you find you rolling down the side and it goes under something, you'll need to raise the Z index until it comes on top of it. It does actually go behind my contact section here, but I don't mind that because that's where we're going down to, and it's kind of nice that it disappears when it gets on that. And the reason it's doing that is because we've made this row above it, and so we've made this section below it, and the new section has got a higher Z index, obviously, than our row there. But that's going to work for me. Like I say, if you want it to appear above something, just pull that Z index up higher. So I think we should be pretty much good to go. The only other thing, I was going to give it a little animation to make it look a little more urgent. So still in the row, still in advanced, if we roll back up to the top, we can write a bit of custom CSS. And don't worry, I've done this all for you. To select our little row and everything in it, we can say selector, and then open and close some curly brackets. I want to create an animation, so I'm going to say animation, and a colon. Then we'll give it a name. I'm going to call mine bounce, or BNC is my shorthand. I'm going to have mine running for perhaps 4 seconds. I don't want it to keep going and going, so I'm going to say infinite. Great. Let's create the animation that we call BNC now. We're going to use keyframes to do that. So I'm going to say then the word keyframes, KEYFRAMES. Then the name of the animation, which is BNC. Now we can open and close some more curly brackets and decide what we want it to do. Basically, I want it to bounce up and down just by a few pixels. So when the page loads, second one of our 4 seconds, or the beginning of second one, so 0%, we'll open and close some more curly brackets. I'm going to say transform, translate over the y-axis, capital Y. Let's open some round brackets now. I'm just going to say 0 because I want it to actually be at normal position when the page loads. Now I'm going to copy that from the 0 to the end of our little curly bracket there. I'm going to drop down. I'm going to say 10%. I'm going to drag it up by 2 pixels. Let's say -2 pixels. -2 px. Then at intervals of 20, 40, 60, I want it to go back to 0, and 30, 50, etc. we'll have it back to 2. So let's put a comma after our 0 right there. Comma. We're going to say 20%, comma, 40%, comma, 60%, 80%, and 100%. Want them all to be at 0 point, and as you can see, it's starting to bounce a little bit up there already. And if we go 10, 30, 50, 70, and 90, that should even it out. As you can see, that's bouncing up and down nicely there. And don't worry, I'll put this code down below for anybody that wants to just copy and paste it. But it really is just as easy as that. If you wanted to make it even more urgent, you could add another little line of code. You could change the background color. We could put a semicolon in there. And we could change the background. Let's say blue here. And I'll copy that. Then we'll put it after this one and make it red. And that's rather urgent going on right there. It's like you've been stopped by the police or something. But you can do all kind of things. Just let your imagination go and play with it a bit, and you get some great things going. Let's put that back how it was. I'm just happy for it to do the little bounce. Fantastic. We'll save our changes now. Save the page changes. Save draft or publish if you're ready. Let's exit the visual builder. And we'll go on down. There's our little button on the left hand side up there. If I hover over it, it's going to get blue. If I roll down the site some, it's going to stay exactly where it is. If I click on it, it should go to our little section down below there. Perfect. And as you can see, it's tucked itself down underneath for that section. Really nice little feature. Like I say, you can apply it to all kinds of different things. Email, we've done a WhatsApp with this. We've done a live telephone call button with this. Just like I say earlier, use your imagination, and it's a great little feature to have. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, pop them down below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video just like this one. And if you build something with this today using this technique, drop us a link down below. Love to see it. It's always great to see people's work. So once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.